What's good, y'all? I'm Drew Evans.
I'm Maddox Hinton.
I'm Lucas Allison.
I'm Jonas Walker, and welcome to Differential Vodcast.
So the first episode, you guys learned a lot about me, and who I was and my story and stuff like that. But today it's about my three co-hosts sitting here with me. So to start with Jonas, what does J2 mean for you? Dive deeper into that. I know you're a junior, so does that play into that at all? Yeah.
Yeah, J2 actually came from my name being Jonas Walker Jr. because my dad is a senior. When I was coming up with a name for my photography business, I do freelance photography, J2 Media.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. But when I was coming up with the name for it, I was just kind of searching, and I was just gonna go with Jonas Media or JW something or Jonas Walker Productions, that kind of like general, like Mads Productions type. But, like people go with the productions and the flicks and the framed by, I wanted to be a little bit different with my name. So I went more towards like who I am, what my name is. And my dad really helped me out with that because he reminded me that I am a junior. He's J1, I'm J2.
Of course.
So that's just kind of how I put it together. And so here we are with J2 Media.
Of course. So does he play into your love for photography? I know you do it sort of for a living. So I know he does that too. So does that help you with do what you love? And does he help you push you in that manner?
Oh yeah. Speaking of dads, I mean it is Father's Day weekend, so why don't we just go ahead and do this?
You feel me?
My dad did play a big part in why I am a content creator, why I am in media production, photography, videography, because this was something that he did growing up too. And while I was growing up, he was always editing, and he was into music production and video production and photography. And so he had his own camera. So every time he had to do a shoot, I went with him because here I am shadowing what my future is, right?
Yeah, of course.
And
Wow.
so, I really thank God for him because, I mean, he put me on the right path to do photography. He taught me a lot of the things I know. I think now I'm kind of teaching him some of the stuff I know.
Sure.
I mean, but that's kind of how it works. The pupil teaches the teacher at some point. So, just kind of dealing with that. I really appreciate my dad, and he kind of did put me on the path to this career.
Nice. You mentioned God, and I understand that you have a really strong relationship with Christ. So tell me what that means to you and how you've been growing closer to that as of late. I see the FCA on your shirt. I have an FCA bracelet on right now.
Yeah. So technically, if you look at it this way, I've been doing high school ministry. It's called FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I've been leading that huddle at Ben Davis High School for the last 2.5 years.
Nice.
Alongside with some others like Nylan Brown, Kayla Gasper, Josh Easton, and those ones that I worked with throughout the
Maddox,
way.
you're in that too, right?
Yeah, Maddox is in the group. Drew was actually in the huddle as well.
Yeah.
And so I just really use that opportunity to be just to minister like what I do, what I believe, and then it also helped because it's always been a group of young people that actually wanted to learn more about the Bible, more about God, more about Christ, and kind of just grow in their own way, in their own religion, however they want. So I really thank God for that opportunity because it allowed me to let my light shine. It allowed others to come and be comfortable in a space where we can talk about God, where we could talk about Christ and the things in the Bible and things like that. And then as of recently, it's my senior year doing it. We had our last huddle on Thursday. I taught my last FCA lesson on May 29th. And later that day, I was awarded FCA Student Leader of the Year for the state. So I really count it all joy. It's really a blessing to be able to do all the things that I do. And I really thank God just really because he's been there for me the whole time.
Of course. Sounds strong, sound powerful.
Of course.
Congratulations to you two, by the way.
Thank you.
You guys are done with high school. By the time this goes out, you
Yeah.
guys will be graduated. So of course, congratulations to you guys. Of course, now to Lucas, by the tell of your of your player profile that we put out, you're a big film guy. So of course, dive deeper into what being a filmmaker, an aspiring filmmaker, means to you and all the things that you've done that led you to this point. Why filmmaking? Really, that's my question. Why?
Well, I guess it is a good time for this to be Father's Day weekend. Jonas's father helped him push him toward a career in photography. Well, my dad used to teach a film class at the high school that I'm currently attending, and so
Jeez.
he taught. I don't know if it was Film 101, but it might have been Film 101. I need to ask him. but we've been around people, well, my dad especially in his friend group, they talk about movies a lot. It's like movies and 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 board games and stuff, things that other people would consider to be nerdy, but it's always kind of been what I've been around, and we've kind of bonded
Yeah.
as as a family around watching movies and as friends but with watching movies. Like we go to the
Yeah.
drive-in as much as we can, and it's just been a big part of my life is watching movies and experiencing stories in a cinematic tale, and so I think that just it's always kind of been something that I've been interested in, but ever since middle school, that really became what I want to do, just because it's just been a big part of my life.
Of course. And saying that, you sound like a big family guy. Me doing my research on you, of course, extensive research. I know you have a twin brother, and I know you're really big on your family. So dive deeper into more how your family would help you. Like when I'm sitting and talking to my family, I'm showing my family the films or your trailers you've made. So like, talk to me more about like what your family means to you and how they help you in this process regarding all that stuff. You feel me?
Well, I guess I've been privileged growing up to have a great parents and great grandparents. Everyone who's kind of been a part of my family, I'm very lucky to have people who are very supportive. Having a twin brother, kind of, we always, people always think of us as the same person, just because that's just kind of the way things
Yeah.
work out. But we've always kind of been there for each other in 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 our shared, and even our, the things that one of us likes but the other one doesn't. We're all always kind of there. And so it's also because my family we all kind of have we kind of have similar interests in the arts. Both my parents are art teachers. They both work at in the same township that we've all attended.
Mm.
And so um I think that part of what allows why my family has played such a big role in my journey as a filmmaker has been just because they understand it too,
Mm-hmm.
and they know what it's like to want to make things, um and you be a part of something like that.
Of course, you sound like a big family guy, and I understand, your parents both work in the township, you're around your family a lot. So how was that like I know it's a bit off script, but like, how was it like having a parent in school with you? Like, is that weird at all? Do you go with him to school? Like,
Drew, that was all of us.
really?
Kinda.
Well, no, it's not me.
I mean, your mom works there
Yeah.
now,
Okay. So you
but
guys
she
don't
was
know.
like always involved.
Yeah.
And
But like, she didn't work there.
his mom was my English teacher.
Fun fact about Lucas. His brother's name is Riley. So if you don't notice right now, his hair's parted to the left, and Riley parts his hair to the right. So that's how they get told apart. Is Lucas and Riley how their hairs are parted? You feel me?
Smart.
Yeah, right. Genius.
I didn't even know that.
Well,
I didn't know that at all.
I'm the
Dude,
one
Lucas
that
and
I'm the
Ri-
one that
But
taught.
now it makes
I'm
sense.
Just saying, I'm the one who started teaching people that.
Lucas, up back to you. Go ahead. Sorry, I hate to like take your
No,
thunder there.
no, it's fine. No, come on, this is a group thing. We should all be talking about this. We're a group. It's not just individuals. Yeah, it's a team. It's not a group. It's a team.
There's no
That's
I
better.
in team. Come on now.
There's no I in team. I like it.
All right, go ahead.
So
yeah,
sorry about my.
your family and working in the township and then being
Oh.
around so often.
So yes, it was kind of something that we always thought it'd make things easier for us
Mhm.
as students, having our parents work in the
Oh, yeah.
township, and like we started going the elementary school that my mom works at. We started going there and we were in 4th grade, and what I ended up learning was that it really doesn't make anything easier for you, because when everybody else doesn't
Oh,
have
no, it might make things harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when everybody else doesn't have a parent in the school, everyone thought that we were just going to tattle on them all the time. Everyone thought that we were going to
Yeah.
rat them out for doing things. And so taking that from elementary school going into high school, well, middle school in between, but of course, those shared experiences, having that knowledge going in, I feel like I'm trying to set myself apart. We have more connections because of that, but it also makes me want to try to become my own person a little bit more, and kind of
Yeah.
become me, and not just, oh, I'm the son of the head of the art department,
Mhm.
because that's a very easy thing to be known as, and while I want to be acknowledged as that, I don't want that to be my personality.
and who you are.
I want to
Feel
be
me?
me. I don't want to just be the son of a teacher who uses his connections to manipulate things and do stuff that I'm not actually going to do.
Of course.
Right.
I mean, and kind of to add on to that, since my whole life, my parents have worked in the district as well. My dad's in
I did not know that.
transportation. My mom, she jumped from Lyndhurst to Pike when I went to Pike, and then back to Chapel Hill when we came back over to Wayne
Staying on the
Township.
west side.
And so, I mean, yeah, West Side.
West
I
side,
mean,
best side, by the way.
but I guess like there were like a few perks to having a mom and dad in the district, but then there were also like you do one wrong thing and those teachers are gonna be reaching out real soon.
Ooh.
Like, oh, they did this. Oh, they didn't turn in an assignment. There it goes. And then you got your parents on your back, like, what are you doing? I go to school with you. I'm here with you in the building. Why aren't you getting your work done? Yeah. So I mean, there's pros and cons to it, but I mean, I guess it helped me in the long run, for
My
sure.
quick little tangent. My mom would be she's teaching, right? And she's like, "Man, I'm sorry. Why are you sorry? Because I pushed you way harder than these kids are getting pushed."
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
"What?
Way harder.
What?" Like, but yeah, like it's crazy. Okay, Maddox.
Oh.
So about you, why media production? Why did you choose this way, and what got you into BDTV initially?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So initially, like going into high school, I didn't know BDTV was a thing. But freshman year, my impact teacher, she played BDTV because she had lots of students who were in BDTV, and she liked watching them and like pointing out which ones she had in class. So I was like, this is actually kind of cool, and like they were entertaining and they were funny. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And I'd always kind of liked media stuff. Like I know the theme has been dads, but my mom was a photographer when I was little.
Please, we love her. Yeah, we
Yeah.
love her over there.
And I liked photography, and I like for a really long time I'd already wanted to do photography because of my mom. Um, but I saw BDTV and I was like, well, this is pretty cool. This is kind of close. I'll like try and do that. So, I took my prerequisites sophomore year, and I joined BDTV junior year because of like a singular conversation I had with Mr. Goins. In mass media, you do these like little critique sheets of BDTV.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I feel old.
Yeah.
You are old.
We
Okay,
did
anyway,
those.
let's keep going, right?
Right, you do these little critique sheets, and I filled mine out like how you were supposed to, because I was a goody two shoes and I can't help myself. And Mr. Goins like steady read mine. Like every week he read mine and he's like started keeping track of them, and he asked Mr. Easter if he could have a conversation with me before mass media one day, and so like he pulls me into the hallway, and he's like, "So you like this, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." He goes, "Well, like, do you have experience with this?" I'm like, "Not at all." He goes, "Well, you're filling these out like perfectly. Like this is exactly how they're supposed to be used, and nobody else uses them this way because they're a little bit confusing."
Yeah, right.
We have since changed them for the
I
mass
can't lie, I
media
still couldn't
kids.
understand it. Like I was a senior in high school looking at the teacher. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Nah, they had us fill them out, and like, so I took BDTV too. I was in media production at Ben Davis too, and we had to fill them out for ourselves because I was in the PM class, and I'm like,
What is this? Yeah, it's confusing. It's
Right, yeah.
framed very
And
confusingly.
I'm kind of finding out Mr. Goins only had like you always had that group in BDTV that wasn't the greatest, like
Yeah.
Drew. And so like they had that
there go
group
the shade. All right, go
and
ahead.
they
Ben
always
Davis
had
football
their
team
little clique.
2024.
But like he didn't make us fill out those papers as much because we
Yeah.
stayed consistent in like our work, our job, and like
And our
did what we were supposed to.
conversation, I think.
Yeah, and our conversation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, our class, we had a lot of come to Jesus moments. That's what he would say.
Oh,
we'd have to go in.
yes.
Y'all
The-
should know
the
Jesus
radio
by
room?
now.
Yeah,
come-
we'd
they
go
come to
back in a
Jesus room?
room. It was called like it's called the radio room at BDTV. It's a radio room. We'd go back in there. There'd be one chair in the middle and like a circle of chairs around, and then like it's like a firing range. One person goes in the middle, and we all start talking about them.
God.
So,
That's
yeah,
terrible. We
it was-
don't
it's-
do
we
that.
We don't do that.
We don't do
It was-
that.
oh,
We're
no,
normal.
It was a bit barbaric, but
Yeah,
you know,
we don't do that.
You might need to
Right
do
to
that
the
with my
crowd.
Y'all a little different.
No, I feel like that's like a big conversation we have a lot. Like our seniors. Well, I guess we were the seniors
Mm.
by the time this comes out. Oh, that's awkward. Class of 25 is like very different from class of 24 BDTV wise, and like even just generally speaking. But not the point.
No shade, no shade.
right? That's
No
what I'm
shade,
saying.
no
Where
shade.
did-
All love.
Where
All
did that
love.
come from?
We love y'all. We love y'all.
No,
we love
right,
y'all
you're
so
right.
much.
It's just like
That's right,
it's just
anyway.
very different. It was just a very different experience, like senior years.
Mhm.
But no, I joined BDTV because of one conversation with Mr. Goins, And like my first day was very awkward. I was like, guys, I don't know about all this. It's a little bit much, because VDTV is low key for extroverts.
Yeah.
Extroverts, and then like me and Lucas.
Now Lucas is very extroverted.
Lucas
What are you
is
talking
no.
He knows how to hold a conversation. Don't get
He
me
does.
wrong.
He does.
Right.
Okay, no, I think that's why I said it, and like me and Lucas, because technically you could consider us introverts, because like neither one of us is gonna like speak a lot, like in a first interaction. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Right. So neither one of us is gonna speak a lot in our first interaction. But then as you get to know us, it's like we can
Yeah,
hold a pretty long and
it's true.
yap a lot,
For sure.
like conversation.
Yeah. I've come to know. So you talk about like taking it back, like talking about your mom and how she kind of got you into it. When's the first time you picked up a camera, and like what made you like, wow, like a camera, like sheesh, like I want to do is like media production and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. No, I don't know. I think sometime in probably when I started at a Wayne school, like
Mhm.
4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
When I started at Maplewood, my mom was like in her bag with cameras, like with photography. Like that was her thing that year. And then 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go with her a lot to just like help her,
Mm-hmm.
like carry props and stuff when she was going to take pictures. But I think probably around then is like the first time I picked up a camera, and I like just took pictures of random stuff because I thought it was cool. And I was like, this is pretty fun. Like these are pretty.
I see.
I can do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you I know you talk about being an introvert around of extrovert, a lot around of extroverts. You're a Purple Rain leader.
I am.
Oh
you
God.
you can't call yourself, and so is Jonas. Not to take away from who Jonas is, you feel me? But you're an introvert, right? You're an introvert as a Purple Rain leader. How does that work, and how did you balance that?
Okay, like first. Okay, so as a Purple Rain leader, we're like our student section leaders.
Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
It's okay. It's okay. We're our student section leaders for our high school. So it's 5 of us, and we literally just stand in front of wherever everyone is sitting. And our first game of the season, our first sport is football. So it's like our first football game, I think it was whiteout. And I'm like, I was nervous. Like we set up, I'm like watching people
God.
slowly filter the thing, and all day I'm like, guys, what chants are we doing? Guys, I don't know what to do. I don't know how this works. And they're like, it's fine, you'll get it. And then that was literally everyone's advice. It's okay, you'll get it in the moment. I'm like, that's not how that works at all, but okay, I guess. So it was very nerve-wracking. But then low-key, I did kind of start to get it in the moment, and it was definitely not the first football game that I like started doing chants, and like throughout the whole year, I feel like I was very awkward and
PJ would be like, Giants, we outside tonight. Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what it was now, but I had like a favorite chant.
Sorry, you were talking away from the mic.
I had like a favorite chant that I never did because I didn't want to call it, and they were
Which
like,
one was it? Do it now.
I don't remember.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think now.
Hate to put you on the spot.
Hold on.
Oh God.
Okay, yeah, we're going
Stop.
So we all come from BDTV. You know, my family is really in tune with Mr. Goins. You know, my older brother. You know, we had him on the show before.
Yeah.
Chris Evans. You know, he was in BDTV. So all of us are really familiar and in tune with Mr. Goins, the instructor of BDTV, and you know, he has a million accolades. He's been winning stuff since before, right around my parents were born. You know, so to speak to that, like, just got to ask you three, like, what does Mr. Goins mean to you guys, and like, what's a moment that you guys really remember from Mr. Goins? So one, what does Mr. Goins mean to you? And two, what's a moment that really sticks out to you?
Wow.
That's such a hard question. You're asking
want me to
two
answer?
seniors.
You
No.
want
No.
You're gonna answer?
Let
Or
me
do
tell you.
You want me to go first?
Let me tell you what you're doing wrong here. Like, you're asking us, and we're like literally ending our time with Mr. Goins, and so it's a
Yeah.
little bit like it's pulling a couple of heartstrings right now because like we've been through this. I've been in it 3 years now,
dude. Oh man.
and
Jonas was a sophomore in BDTV, and if you don't know, as like based off of Maddox's story, you have to be like you more than likely got to be a junior
yeah,
in BDTV. And
Yeah.
Jonas was a sophomore in BDTV, helping me with my story.
He's like 15.
If I could, I'd put it up on the screen of me dancing after I just finished my weather.
oh
but-
yeah, I never forget. I mean, he was slow and dumb as a doorknob, as Mr. Goins would say.
No,
But
they don't
no,
do that anymore. No
yeah,
more
bro.
sophomores.
Yeah, no more sophomores.
Mr. Goins means a lot to me. As a mentor, as like kind of like another father. Some of us call him grandpa, uncle. That kind of he
Unky.
just kind of steps in like as another figure in your life that will motivate you and push you to be your best, and kind of like meet you where you are, and then like bring you up to where you need to be.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like what I really appreciated about him, because I knew a lot about camera. Like there was still stuff I needed to learn. Camera, lighting, writing, audio, editing, all the like our
Yeah,
whole
for
our whole
sure.
situation. But I didn't go in acting like I knew all of it, because I wanted to remain teachable. I
Of
wanted to
course.
remain approachable. I wanted to learn from one of the best. I mean, I've heard about Mr. Goins. Like this is me sophomore year. I've heard about Mr. Goins, but like, what's he really like? I'm walking. I remember my first day there. I walked in the class, and I was AM student then. And he's just like, "Who are you? You're gonna walk in my house and not speak? You know how he does. You're not gonna walk in here and not say nothing, introduce yourself. It kind of scared me a little bit, because like, wait, hold on,
Yeah, right.
it's
Yeah,
nobody really
he's
He's
like
a
he's
loud too.
taller guy
yeah,
too.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a taller guy. He got the mask on.
Yeah, he's
If
very particular like in your approach to him. So I mean, and that right there was the like my first lesson from him. Like introduce yourself and make your presence known. And I could talk all day about Mr. Goins. Like he has really pushed me the last 3 years. He's given me great advice. I mean, he's been my spiritual mentor in Christ. I always look up to him when it comes to things as far as teaching FCA. He was our FCA sponsor. And he's just really been a good Christian man, a good teacher, a great person to have in my life. And I'm going to stop there, because there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this conversation
of
Yeah.
course,
without tears. Okay, go.
Lucas.
So again, my dad, he's the head of the art department. I have a point with this. He's head of the art department, and Mr. Goins is the head of the
Arts, performing
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 arts.
yeah,
arts,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, performing arts department. And so I would always hear about the one guy that my dad never liked to speak after in meetings because he's just so well spoken, and just like everything he says is just so direct and to the point, and he knows exactly what he wants, exactly what he's trying to say. And I remember my first day of freshman year, actually, I was walking in, and I was like, oh man, this is the high school, this is nuts. And so we started, and we were in the high school walking back to the freshman center because it connects. And in order to get back there, you got to walk through either like the wrestling hallway or the BDTV hallway.
Mhm.
And Mr. Goins is standing out there, and my brother and I are these two wee little freshmen starting their first day at ninth grade. And we walk down there, and he knows who we are, and he stops us, and he says, hey, you guys are going to do great today. And it was just like this moment where I knew about him somehow, but I didn't. But he stopped us in the hallway, and he like gave us this pep talk almost before freshman year, and that was really neat. And that was like the first time I'd ever spoken to him. And then I did mass media sophomore year. I'm going into my senior year now, and then I joined BDTV this year, and it's just been like every time he opens his mouth, it's just like a teachable moment.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
everything, whether it's funny or whether it's serious, whether he has to, you know, you know, I don't know, everything's a teachable moment for him, and I think it's really inspiring to be around him because it's just he's a funny guy. He really
Oh
is.
yeah,
He makes me
he'll
laugh
crack a
like
joke.
really
He'll
hard.
crack a
Like
joke.
I quote him in my phone. Like I don't do that for a lot of things, but like there's a lot of things that he says that are really funny, but they're also really insightful.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just think that we need teachers like him. I've grown up around teachers,
Mm.
but I feel like he's a different kind of teacher who who doesn't just feel like a teacher, but he also just feels like someone you can just talk to, and someone who um, understands students
Yeah.
in a way that not a lot of other teachers I've been around. I don't want to say that they don't understand students, but Mr. Goins just understands things in just in a different way, not better, not worse, just in a different way. And I feel
Yeah.
like being in his class and doing what we're doing, he has experience in the real world doing that stuff, and it's one of my favorite classes
Yeah.
because of that, if not my
Sure.
favorite class
Yeah.
because of that. So, you know,
I'll never forget. I'd be in high school. I used to be in high school. God, God, getting older. I remember just in high school, I'd be trying to get out of class to go to BDTV to talk to Mr. Goins
Oh
about stuff.
yes.
just to be around him, just to talk to him, just to get some more stuff from him. Of course, he always gave me a hard time. He called me a knucklehead more times than I can count, no more times than I can remember.
He
But
still calls you a knucklehead.
yeah, he does.
Let me ask you this. How many sets of 25 push-ups have you
Oh
had
man.
to do?
Okay, so in BDTV, every time you cuss, yeah, BDTV, you had to do 25 push-ups, right? And he enforced that amongst all the football players. But I think me, yeah, I think I got the short end of the stick when it came to that. I feel like he just expected more out of me. So anytime I looked at anybody wrong, literally, I had to do 25 push-ups. And I'd say I benefited greatly from that, especially because I play football now. But back then, it was really irritating because somebody would do something that I did and I barely did it, and then I have to do 25 push-ups. Then he'll make me do 25 more because I let them do it, you know? So
I think it was a really big message of accountability.
yeah,
there.
for sure, and it was,
Like,
and I'm so grateful for him because he did that for me. Like,
everything is a lesson in his class.
bro, like
Walking in the door is a lesson in his class, okay? Maddox. Oh God,
I'm a crybaby.
we know. It's okay.
Stop. This is a terrible question.
it is. Do you want to skip? No, you got to answer it.
I did-
No, you have to answer now.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on.
Do your best, look your best, be your best, you know,
Yo,
all the
Bro,
best.
like be quiet.
you're making it worse.
Alright, go ahead.
Proof is in the pudding. Okay. I'm chilling.
Yo,
I'm chilling.
what are you
I'm
on?
chilling.
Bro, that's terrible. You're terrible. No, Mr. Goins, he means a lot to everybody who knows him. Oh my gosh. I think, okay, Mr. Goins, he means a lot to everybody who knows him, and he means a lot to me. Just because of like that sort of mentor relationship that it is very easy to have with him. He expects a lot out of me, and I think that's like, I won't say it's something I don't have, but it's comforting to know that he's very like outwardly proud of me and the things that I do, and sort of he's very loud about how he's proud of you and like how he pushes you. So yeah. A memory I have of Mr. Goins, like a standout memory. Oh, okay, so like very recently especially, he's been talking about some don't leave, you're not allowed to leave, like
Yeah.
you gotta stay.
He's not letting us.
No, he said so fifth year senior, I'll pay like your fees for unenrolling from school, like I'll find some money, like you're gonna stay, you're gonna be a fifth year senior. I think that's just like very important because it shows how much he cares, like, and not just about me, but about all of us. So
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And this what Mr. Goins means to me, it's a lot. You know, of course, he expected a lot out of me. He's been around my family a lot. He's known my family forever. He had my brother. He called my brother a knucklehead too. You know, he said me and my brother look alike. I don't see it at all.
I mean,
But
you do.
you could see it.
I mean, side by side would help.
I don't got it for you right
I
now.
don't think.
No,
Huh?
I don't got it for you right now, but we can get that.
I don't.
you
I
know.
don't
no,
see it.
all
of
three
course.
of you look alike.
Yeah,
Derek.
Derek, the owner of Diabolical. Yeah. But really, yeah, I see me and Derek more than I see. Okay, anyway, God, you cut me off.
This guy.
Anyway, let me get back to what's important here.
What does Mr. Goins mean to you?
So yeah, Mr. Goins is super mean to me, man. That's my dude. I'll never ever take for granted the things he told me. You know, he expected a lot out of me. You know, I've cried to that man before. You know, I can't say that a lot. You know, I can't say a lot about a lot of people, but I've cried to that man before about things going on in my life. And he was there for me. He took me with open arms. But the next day, he was giving me hitting me on my neck when I didn't finish my stories. So, you know, of course, I love him for that. You know, he's always expected the best out of me. He always pushed me to be the best. I remember and a memory with Mr. Goins. So we're playing Pike my senior year. God. My senior year, I made a big play in the backfield, right? And I got up, I started saying things. You know, of course, we can't dive into what those things were right now, but like I was talking. You know, you'd be able to tell by my body language what I was saying, right? then the next day in school, big win. We just beat Pike 62-0. And,
Woo!
right.
Yikes.
Outrageous.
I remember that.
Outrageous.
It was like
Outrageous.
52 the
Yeah,
first time,
yeah, right.
and then 62 the next time. It
Right,
was
I'm
like,
saying it's crazy. We'll
yeah,
dive deeper
yeah,
into
yeah.
that rivalry later.
Yeah,
But we won 62-0. Then it was like the next day, come in like, yeah, we feeling ourselves. Monday, come in. Feel me? We feeling ourselves and getting ready for the next week. And he's like, 50 push-ups. I'm like, why? What'd I do? I heard what you said, young man. Come on. And then he played it on the screen. I'm like, bro,
God.
come on.
Yeah,
And
you
then
never
everybody
say.
and all the other football guys in the classroom were dying laughing because I said some crazy things, and I can't lie. It was, yeah. Yeah, I said them, but I'm not expecting Mr. Goins to be close enough to hear what I'm saying on the field. I said way more than 2 cuss words to warrant 25 to warrant 50 push-ups. But again, I say that's a good memory because he's very detail oriented and he remembered that. Like he made sure he thought about that all the way through the weekend, so he could tell me to do 50 push-ups in front of all my friends on Monday. So that's something I'd say is my favorite memory, and always appreciative of Mr. Goins. A father as well.
Oh,
Great
yes.
man of God, of course.
Definitely say Happy Father's Day to you, Mr. Goins,
Oh,
for
Oh my
sure.
gosh.
For
Oh
sure.
my
Happy
gosh.
Father's Day, Mr.
I
Goins.
hope you're
Yeah.
enjoying your trip watching this.
Yes, he's
Yeah, I
going
hope
on a
you're
vacation.
enjoying your trip watching
course.
this. Father's Day, of course. Yeah.
So moving on from Mr. Goins, now on to us, why we're here. Jonas, dive deeper or tell us about us. Why do you think we work and how do you think we came to be? What's with the
Okay.
face?
Bro.
Wow. Okay, so first of all, I didn't know Lucas until probably like December.
Look at the timing. That's when we just
Yeah, and that's kind of when we were starting to form our group and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But as for the other two, these two I've known for a very long time. I could talk all day, stories about them.
Oh, brother.
Like we've done a lot of things together. I mean, we've been through a lot. We've done a lot. Been in class, goofed off, did our thing. So I feel like with me and Drew, I'm like smart and he's dumb, so that
Yeah.
works together.
Right.
Very
And
easy
then
dynamic to have with Drew.
Right.
not dumb, like not seriously, but he has his days. And then with me
Right.
and Maddox, we're like production nerds, so it's really like you put a cord into an extension cord and you just kind of like it lights up. That's kind of us. I mean, we just really work well together. We script well together, and then we just built those relationships before we started working on projects and things like that. Like me and Drew, we would hang out from time to time. Me and Maddox, FNL,
Yeah.
that really like
FNL, what is that?
Friday Night Lights, football
For
season.
football? Yeah.
It
This
really
past football
our
season.
senior
Yeah.
whoa, wow.
Come on, dude.
Our senior football season kind of really grew our relationship more because coming in junior year, I did not know her. And we finished off our junior year with a project that just won a national award, bro.
Yes. Our
Um,
summer project.
I mean, and
That's
that just
fire.
goes to show like how well we work together, our unity, our camaraderie, just the things that we do. We just click. And as far as Lucas goes, not to leave you out or anything like that, but we kind of grew like a cordial friendship, even though we don't talk all the time outside of what we do here as a group. But like you're really tough with the drone stuff. Like I know I can come to you when I need help in that area. And so I feel like we just click because we all have different strengths. We all have different things that we're capable of. Drew can talk a lot. Maddox can cry a lot.
Oh, wow.
Lucas,
Shade.
he's a great bystander person. Like
Hey, whoa.
and can hold a conversation.
For sure. Hey, he tough with that drone
And
stuff.
yeah, for real, he can really do that drone stuff for real. And then with me, I think I'm just all around the table, just capable of doing anything. And y'all can beg to differ in your answers to the
Absolutely.
questions. Treat me nice. I treat you guys
Says this guy.
very very well. So just that's how I feel like we work.
If you want to be the best, you got to train like the best. And if you're a running back, you're training with Jump Cut RB. We have NFL coaches, NFL players, all pouring into our kids in our program. So come train and be the best. Lucas, us, like dive into each of our dynamics and what you think of us, and then how we came to be type, if you want to.
Well, I'm going to challenge what Jonas said they didn't know each other since December. We actually met in August
Ooh, clock it.
because we it was like the first Monday of school, and I get some random text from Maddox. I think it's like, "Hey, we need you to do drone stuff," and it was like the
Oh,
fourth
football
day of
season.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then so I stayed after this one day, and the three of us were just walking around the school, just doing drone stuff.
This is
And
true.
Yes.
Because
that
I
was a lot
rolled
of
around
fun.
on the floor.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And Julia just used that clip in her.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm really
Okay,
glad
so
that
wait,
got
let
used.
me retract.
No, it's fine.
I think it was December where I actually started to get to know you. Before that, I was just contacting you for when I needed you. You know, that kind of thing.
Wow.
I know that
Business-
sounds terrible,
business
but like,
relationship right
production
there.
stuff. My bad. Sorry.
I think what's interesting is that, seeing you guys on BDTV, because I'm at least a year younger than you guys. But what made it weird, again, I'll get back to this, but what made joining BDTV at the beginning of this year weird was that I had been, like, I'd known Maddox for a while. I met Drew when I was a freshman. I met both of them when I was not a freshman, a sophomore, sorry. But what was weird about meeting Jonas and everyone on BDTV was that I had seen them as a sophomore on what when I would watch newscasts on Friday, and I thought it was, I don't want to say it was like meeting celebrities, but it was but it was like going to a convention and meeting people
Yeah.
who have seen in movies. It was a very similar experience to that. And so I thought it was not weird, but it felt cool to be contacted by people who are seniors in BDTV who have been doing this for a while, and that's what you guys are. You guys are, I mean, whatever. I think it's cool that we all kind of have we all have our different relationships. Like Drew and I have known each other since we were both backstage on a show that Maddox was stage manager for. Maddox and I
We're gonna
met
get to that later. We're gonna get to that later.
doing our production of Clue back in December of 2023. No, yeah, that was right. Yeah, we met then. And then of course Jonas and I met at the beginning of last year, and I just think it's interesting that we all kind of have, but then the three of them, they have other relationships that extend before I was even a part of it, and I think that's cool that we all kind of have.
Oh yeah.
We all know each other from different backgrounds, but it's all kind of formed together to create a group.
Yeah, of course.
Differential. Hey, it
Very
all came
different.
back around.
Again, we're
Yeah.
gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Maddox, us.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Jonas. Guys, Jonas is like my idol when I first joined BDTV. I was like, I want to be just like this kid. Everyone's always asking him questions. He knows all this stuff. So it's like, that was initially a very interesting dynamic, and then we became friends. I'm like, oh. Drew, guys, no lie, I have no clue how we became friends. We've had this conversation before. I literally don't remember when we started becoming friends. Actually, hold on. Okay, never mind. So like I do, but it's like when we became close is very blurry. But point is, we're friends. Stop.
Yeah.
Point
Oh,
is,
wait.
we're friends. Point is, we're friends now. I convinced I convinced Drew to join theater. Jeez.
You're good. Come on.
I convinced
She
Wow.
convinced me to join theater. Go
I
ahead.
convinced Drew to join.
Drew to join theater. Second semester. So, first show, last show. And then me and Lucas had known each other since junior year. My junior year.
My
So
sophomore
his
year.
junior
Yeah.
year and your sophomore. Yeah. Okay.
You said that backwards.
Sorry, your junior year,
Yeah,
his sophomore year. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fumble.
So, we'd known each other a good 2 years. It was very like loosely friends, and then I think like at the beginning, because you just didn't talk a lot, so I was like, this kid, he probably hates me.
Right,
He's
oh,
like,
man.
shut up, stop talking to me, like, please leave me alone, crazy lady. But we're definitely friends now after the doorman incident.
Yeah.
Entire year later.
So, for me to answer that question, me and Jonas became friends. I feel like we first became friends when I asked him to help me with my weather on the green screen. I didn't know how to do a green screen. I was clueless my junior year of BDTV. That seems to be a trend. I was clueless my junior year of BDTV, so I asked Jonas. Jonas was doing everything. This is the tail end of the year, so Jonas really helped me out. It was a really good story, and I appreciate him for that. And just from then, we just kept building and building and building. We kept building this very strong bond that's been tested a lot. That has been really tested a lot. I'd say that like no matter what, I'd say if my back's against the wall, Jonas's back's against the wall, and that's just how things work. We've gotten each other into situations. I'd say I've gotten us into situations more than he's gotten us into situations, but still, like, he's never given up on me. He's never switched up, and I just say that's love forever. You feel me? I'll tell him all the time, like, after every conversation I end with love. You feel me? Because that's like I love him. I love him to death. I love him like my own family. You feel me? My family loves him. You feel me? When my two older siblings come in here, they're gonna hug Jonas how they hug me. So that's something I'll never ever get rid of. Jonas has been there for me for some of the darkest times of my life. No doubt in my mind that I probably wouldn't be here or probably wouldn't be in the path I was if I didn't have Jonas in my corner. So you feel me? It's love. For sure. Lucas, my dude. Oh my God. Now you see both of us standing next to each other, you'd be like, they're not friends. Get out of my face. But Lucas really, it's real like hot and cold, like I wouldn't say Mordecai and Rigby because they're both stupid, but
Yeah.
okay, yeah. But I'd say me and Lucas were like, I really can't put it into a representation, but we're just two complete polar opposites. But it just works. Obviously, all of us here, we all have media, we all have a vision, we all have an idea, we all see things differently than other people do. We have a passion for capturing it, and that's what me and Lucas really bonded on, was capturing what we love and what we like. You feel me? Like he's filmmaking. I'm ready to be casting in his next show.
Which I'm working on. But yes.
So yeah, I'm finna be in there. I'm a side character, but it don't matter. I'm in the show. Oh, I'm not a side character.
No, you're
anyway.
Main 3.
No, so I'm just saying is like,
I'm a side character. Main 3.
whatever. I'm just saying like we just clicked. Backstage on that show. I forget what was it. Don't tell me. Or tell me.
A Midsummer Night's
Yeah,
Dream.
Midsummer Night's. Yeah, I love that thing. I love that show. I had no idea what was going on. I was just around my friends a lot, and it was just a getaway from things I had going on at home. And that's when me and him really became close. I'm talking to him, real monotone guy. I used to make fun of him for his voice. He used to talk like this.
My name
Still
is Lucas
does.
Allison, and I just
when I talk, he talks like
carry
this.
a drone.
Oh my
and-
God. It's like Lucas bullying.
No, but it's love. You feel me? It's love always.
Doing this out of love for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you feel me? I talk about him like this, but no one ever will be able to talk about
Hey.
Jonas like this.
Hey, me and you. If y'all talk about Lucas or
saying,
any
like,
of
you're not
these,
talking
well,
about
I'm
Lucas.
telling you right now.
You're not talking about Lucas.
We don't play about Lucas.
For real, I'm saying, like, I'm playing, like, OD defense about my man's Lucas, you feel
For
me?
sure.
Because he believes in me. He always had my back, you feel me? In the process of this happening, like, it got tough. Like, really, you two were busy, so it was just me and Joan. It's just me and Lucas sitting in the call, like, bro, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm telling you. me and Lucas sitting in the call, we like, man, it's gonna happen, bro, for real. You feel me? Like, some people, some points of context came and went. It's becoming really hard for us to get things done. I'm losing hope. I can't lie. But you know who stuck with me there? I'm not saying y'all didn't. Y'all just weren't able to. Y'all were busy. Lucas was there. You feel me? Lucas wasn't busy. He is.
Well,
Because we're in the second semester of our
Yeah, I'm
senior
saying.
year,
I'm
and
saying.
Lucas
Yeah.
is-
saying I'm not busy is kind of a weird way to
So-
point that
oh,
out,
yeah.
but yeah, so
We get
I see
it.
what you're saying.
We get it.
Yeah,
we don't
I'm-
have a
yeah,
life, so
yeah.
it's fine.
Oh,
I mean,
whoa,
so
whoa.
it's just.
So it's
I mean, like, I'm
senior.
playing.
it's 10:30 on a Wednesday night. I'm like, Lucas, we finna go big.
Oh
Like,
nah, I was
we sitting
probably
on a
asleep.
Google Meet. Like, Lucas, we finna go big.
A
Like,
lot of
trust.
this, yes.
And he's like, yeah, I'm right there with you. So I'm like, yeah, like, and it was so motivating because, like, he ain't give up. I know that for a fact. You feel me? He ain't give up on me, and I ain't give up on him. You feel me? There's some time I'm like, dang, bro, this is hard. Like, is this ever gonna happen? And then I called him. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. I'm here for the long run. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go. Yeah, we gonna get this done. And you feel me? We getting it done. You feel me? Maddox.
Oh.
Nothing good to say.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'd say when me and Maddox became close, or I first talked to Maddox, was my senior year of BDTV, or the first few days. I walked in and I started like, what's going on? Good. Think I give you some dap?
Yeah.
I was like, what's good? Feel me? She's like, hi.
That's not what I sound
That's
like.
not what you sound like.
No.
You were sitting like this, hi, and looked up through your eyebrows. I'm like,
Yes, because I had social anxiety and you were scary.
okay, scary. We're gonna get to
Scary
this. Yeah,
black man.
Right.
That's not.
Right. Yeah. Probably had a big afro and everything.
No,
Whatever.
it's because you're very loud and
Let's not talk
extroverted.
about that. Okay.
What you talking about? But anyway, I just saw her. I'm like, yeah. I'd hear her talk. I see her on the board stressing out. I see her running around like a chicken with her head cut off on the board. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
fuck with
us.
that. Yeah, that's
it
funny.
explains us a lot.
Yeah, oof, man. She's running around with her head, like she's running around like a chicken with her head cut off. I'm like, chill. And I'm thinking my story not done, and I'm telling her to chill. You feel me? So I should probably be running around like that. You feel me? And so I'm like, whatever. Whatever.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm really hungry. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm meal prepped.
So did I. I meal prepped with Chris Evans Performance. They've got high quality meals at affordable prices to prepare you to perform at your best.
I guess it'll come around, you feel me? But I always mess with her. She was like, I always hear the things she was saying under her breath, and they're really funny, you feel me? But I can't burst out laughing, you feel me? Because she said she was scared of me. You told me that.
God.
You told me you were scared of me.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
you did. So I'm like, I don't want to scare her even more, right? Do I look like a monster or something? Don't answer that, all of you. So I'm like, yeah. So then we go on. It's the end of first semester of my senior year, and I'm on a play. Not on a play. I'm not acting in a play. I'm on. I'm in backstage. You feel me? She convinced me to join. You feel me? I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do. You feel me? I'm going home straight after school. I'm like, sure, why not? So I'm running around. I'm following Maddox around and stuff. She tell me to do stuff like this, and I meet Lucas back there. You feel me? That's love. You feel me? And then we running around and we talking and stuff, and like we're getting close. We're sitting like so in theater you got to do like spotlights and stuff. We're sitting where the spotlights are. I'm supposed to be on the spotlights. Me and her are just sitting down and talking about literally nothing, like literal nothingness about like Mr. Goins and school and stuff. I'm like,
Who
nice talking to you.
cares?
And the whole time, I had like a walkie-talkie. I'm supposed to be listening to like the cues for the lights. And, do you remember this? And it was turned all the way down. They said they call me, and then I put it in my pocket and turned it down. Then I put it out. Okay, so they're gonna call me when they need me. Then the whole show's going on, and then I get down there and they're like, "Yo, where were you at? You weren't on the lights." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was listening. And then we go turn. I'm like, "Oh," and then
Whole
you just
time I've been yelling at
yeah,
you.
right, yeah. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, just bidding on that. Just throughout second semester and the end of the year, me and her definitely started getting relatively close, like very close throughout like the summer. I'd say really end of 2024 really started talking more and more because I don't know. I think why did we start talking? I don't know, but we
I
got to
know.
this point.
You don't know.
When? Why? Don't tell me. Tell me. Go ahead. Huh? Whatever. Yeah. So we just started talking for some reason, and we got super close, and we just started building from there. Like this, the podcast. Initially, the idea started with me and her, and we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel me?
And I was like, no.
And
No.
we added you. He's like,
No.
yeah. And then Lucas came along because I just felt like we'd all cut it and
Yeah.
like be really cool with each
It
other,
was a
and I feel
perfect-
like we'd
yeah.
all like like literally like we all balance each other out. You feel me? Like
So yeah.
I feel like it works really well for sure. And like for you guys, really, I want to say thank you. This is a long process. We started drafting this idea in December,
6
really,
months.
and like we started the Instagram. We started like we put out the trailer. Jonas cut together the trailer, man. Go to trailer, man. Like it's crazy. My dog, crazy for real. He put that together, chopped that together real quick.
It was like a day. I did it in a day.
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm like, Jonas, let's get this up. You feel me? Like, he remember the call? I'm like, Jonas, show me. I'm like, oh my God, look like, you feel me? I'm going crazy on the phone because my man just put this together in an hour and you feel me? I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
like, it seems far. You feel me? Like, it seems like far away. But I just feel like I had the people around me that I knew I could trust and I could believe in to be like, yeah, like, let's do this.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm going to keep pushing for these people because I know they'd keep pushing for me, And while you two were busy and stuff and had a lot going on, I'm in the back like, all right, man, let's make this work, man. I know they're gonna want to do this in the future. I know all this, stuff.
Once
like
everything dies down.
yeah, for sure. As soon as everything dies down and they start getting in the swing of summer, it's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna have so much time. We're gonna have a lot of time on our hands to do stuff like this and start growing our audience and stuff like this and really start doing this more, which I love. You feel me? I love you all like you're my own family. For real, I wouldn't. You feel me? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So I pushed myself so hard to get this done and pushed and sat in all the meetings, the boring meetings. Oh God, all the meetings. Wrote,
Yeah, you did all that stuff for us. We appreciate you.
signed 1 million contracts. Talked to people I didn't want to talk to for stuff like this to happen. You feel me? So I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here with Vision Studios, great sponsor. But Yeah. So
God bless you.
yeah, for real.
And God bless America.
So Maddox, why that color in your hair?
It was actually supposed to be purple. I had to. Okay, look. So I was like, I bleached
Huh?
it. No, look, I bleached it, and it didn't look right, so we had to bleach it again, and then it still didn't look like it wasn't all even enough. So we're supposed to bleach it again. I was literally just blonde to wait to bleach it again so I could dye it purple.
And
So
then it just
And then
stayed
then it
blonde.
just stayed blonde.
Yeah.
because you didn't have time to dye it purple,
No,
or
because
you
everyone was
just
like, "Oh my gosh, the blonde looks so good." I'm like, "Well,
yeah. I
Well,
personally
dang.
like it. So
Yeah, I was gonna dye my. You remember I was
Hey.
gonna dye my hair purple?
yeah."
you go purple for next weekend.
Jonas. So who does your hair?
My hair is usually done by my mom. Like 2 years ago or so, I started like getting those like starter locks a little bit, and then I moved to like braids and like
What's new?
So Lucas,
So why do you have a do-rag on?
what's going
It's
on?
a do-rag from Glass House Grooming on the west side of Indy.
Oh, like Anthony the barber. He be cutting hair.
Indeed.
Oh, for real? Like these right here? These ones?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Fire.
That's tough. Okay, I have to look into that.
Awesome. You should.
Thank you all for watching.
We hope to see you again next time.
And be sure to follow our socials.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching.